Welcome to Stereo 3D Productions, folks. It's time to do yet another first impressions video in virtual reality. However, before we start with today's video, it's time to go ahead and put AA batteries in our time machines. I want to rewind all the way back to January 2014. January 2014 was an important month for this channel because it turns out it's the month where I began producing first impressions videos. At the time, I was focusing on stereoscopic 3D gaming. Virtual reality had just freshly come along, so I didn't get up to speed with that until later on. But during that month, I covered a couple of games, and I want to bring your attention to the second video, or second first impressions video I made in January 2014. And that video covered a game called Race the Sun. Now I'm going to put a link in the description to that video, but I'm going to please beg of you not to go watch that. It's, how can I say it? It's fucking terrible. I don't know what was wrong with me. I could not for the fuck of me not say every 3 words. I really sucked. In fact, I listen to my recent videos now. I have no idea how I got to where I am today in terms of not doing that shit. How did I get rid of that major bug in my brain? I got no idea. But yeah, if you check that video and come back here, you'll see it's night and day, right? So, I covered the game in 3D, and I did basically what I do today when I do a first impressions videos. I spoke about the qualities of the game itself, but I also spoke of how the stereoscopic 3D was augmenting the gameplay, and why it was augmenting the gameplay. Now, we get to... oh yeah, and by the way, this is the second video, right? I'm gonna get to that later. This is the fucking second video. Why? Why wasn't it the first? Because I'll get to that after. But now it's time to get to the unexpected parts of our history with this game on the channel. Fast forward to April 2015. See, this is something I didn't know up until very recently, like present day recently. This game comes off a successful Kickstarter campaign, and if I understand properly, they had a whole bunch of stretch goals that were actually met. One of those stretch goals was virtual reality. So, in April 2015, they went ahead and implemented Oculus Rift DK2 support. And seeing that myself and having the game on my library, and the fact that I was kind of fond of this game in particular, especially given the complexity it has, which is, it's a very simple, small indie title. I was very fond of it. So I was like, well, it's getting a visit from me. I wanted to give that thing exposure for having virtual reality support. Now, there are a few issues with the VR support, like mostly it was the view distance was too short. Objects would pop in way too close. And at that time, despite that issue, I found the game, and also despite the fact that the Oculus Rift DK2 has a lesser resolution than, say, a screen, I still found visibility to be clearer, and I found the game a little easier to play. There's a few advantages here. This game doesn't let you move your view with the mouse, but with your head you can. So you could look at the side, see stuff coming, and plan your route. And even with a short view distance, it proved to augment the gameplay once more. I found the 3D had augmented the gameplay, but now the VR was also augmenting the gameplay. And reason why I say it's the unexpected part of our history with the game is I personally didn't expect this game to go for VR. I did request it in forums and everything, but I didn't know about its Kickstarter history. So it was a surprise to me when it did get support implemented. I covered it with a DK2 there. Had fun once more, as usual. Every time I play this game, I really like it. But now, it's time to hop into our time machine one last time and fast forward all the way to present day for the last unexpected in the saga. See, this game was built on Unity Engine version number 4. So this causes a problem for consumer VR. When the consumer VR era rolled in, Oculus sort of said, you know what, Unity 4, fuck Unity 4. Right now, most of the people are using Unity 5, so we'll go ahead and make our runtimes for Unity 5. And also, if I understand properly, Unity 5 supported a whole bunch of things that Oculus needed for this to work. So they went ahead and ditched Unity 4, but here's the problem. For developers like this, they may not have the time, resources, and so forth to go ahead and shift from one engine to the next. It depends on the game, but it may not be an easy task to go and upgrade the engine. It's not like updating your game on Steam. Let's just put it that way. It's a lot more work. So, and there we reached a stalemate. Now we had no VR for Race the Sun, but in come SteamVR. And this is a word that I can give to other developers who toss around the excuse I just cited, the fact that they're stuck on Unity 4, on the old Unity. Turns out that SteamVR supports Unity 4.7, which is the most recent updated version of Unity. And Race the Sun took that route. They actually used SteamVR and went ahead and delivered on their promise. But it took a while for that to happen, to the point where this game had completely left my radar. After the consumer era rolled in 2016, it had been a year I hadn't played that game, and I really wasn't, well, maybe a little less than a year, because I did replay it a few times of the DK2, but the runtimes on that end also got updated, so eventually I just lost touch with this game, and it fell off my radar. And it's back now. Race the Sun is a game that I bought because back in 2014, I was still playing on my 3DS a lot, and I use, obviously, the stereoscopic 3D feature on my 3DS, and I had this habit of going in the store and buying the cheap $3 to $5, maybe $10 games that are just infinite runners, where you're flying something or running an object through a course without smashing into things. I had a whole bunch of those because they're cool to play in 3D. They also make a lot of sense in VR. So Race the Sun is basically of that variety. You dodge objects, and you just make sure you don't crash into shit. It's that simple. There are a few mechanics that are unique to this game, like any of these games would have, and I will describe them as we go in there. So, when it comes to the virtual reality adaptation, they've actually done a little bit of work on it. I'll go through the options right now, and I'll show you what they do when we're in game. Camera toggle, you can actually press C to get either the first-person camera, which never existed in this game before, or you can get the old classic third-person camera. Go figure, one of the first things I did is switch to the third-person camera. Maybe it was a thing of comfort they wanted to go for, but I had no problems with it. Now, I did say earlier on that Race the Sun was the second ever first impressions video produced on this channel. And I so wish it had been the first, because then I could go for that whole we've gone full circle approach, but I can't, we're like, 99.9999999% full circle here, damn it, why did it have to be the second one? It's so close. However, I gotta bring an interesting note to this. Well, this was the second video, and in some respect, on going full circle, this game has gone full circle. It's gone through the whole process, right? At first I got to run in stereoscopic 3D, then it went to development VR, and finally it lands consumer VR support. That's what I call going full circle in regards to Race the Sun itself. In regards to the first impression series, though, not really. One thing I could say that's really, something I appreciate from Race the Sun and these developers is one game less to get worried about in terms of VR support. There's so many games that just fucking drop the ball on us. These guys didn't, and I'd like to thank them very much for this. It would have been a great loss, actually, not to have Race the Sun in VR. And even though, it had faded from my radar, that's only because I have a lot of stuff to do in VR. But this is still huge value. for virtual reality. So I wanted to mention that, and on top of that, ongoing full circle. Folks, stay tuned, it might happen. The developer of Assault Android Cactus, which is the first game I ever covered in the First Impressions series, the developer hinted a few times in the past at VR support. One of the things they said is if they ever got to a point where they code freeze, which means they fix all the bugs and just finish the whole game, then they said we might consider the idea of virtual reality. I don't know if it's been abandoned by now. I could check in. But stay tuned. It could happen, after all, that this series goes full circle. So, ladies and gentlemen, enough talking, enough history lesson. It's time to go play Race the Sun. Alright, so there we go. Looks like I had to switch back again, so it didn't save that last time. It's nice to get back into this game. Now, do my WASD keys work? No, they do not. Okay, so I'll just lay off the WASD keys. This is really simple. The controls are spacebar and arrows. Spacebar is to jump when you have one. I just picked one up right there. You can see it on the HUD. These are boosts right here that I'm picking up, the yellow things. Those power-ups unlock as you go and fail a whole bunch of stages at the beginning. Eventually you reach a point where you unlock those so they start showing up on the track. You can only carry one jump at a time, so that's why you see me miss those right there. And then I'm going to go on about the blue things that this bird is going to shit. The bird poop. Every time you get, I think, 4 or 5 of these, I forget, you get a score multiplier. And then your score, which would be normally at a given rate. Oh well, holy shit, I got a free jump right there from one of those blimps. I didn't know that could happen. So, the blue things, well, they augment your score multiplier. And also, this ship is solar powered. You have a battery on board. The way it's powered is, you gotta stay in the sun. You can't even go in the shadows for too long. You have to stay in the open. So not only do you have to dodge things, but you have to remain in the wide open as much as possible, even avoiding clouds sometimes. Otherwise, it's game over. And every time you get a boost, you're gonna see that sun rise. So when that sun goes down, it goes dark, you're basically racing the sun right now, is what's going on. That's why the game's called Race the Sun. What? I love this fucking game. And I gotta tell you, to me this is a virtual reality game. This is not a Scream game. This is something that has to... What the fuck was that? Has to be played in virtual reality. The sensation I'm getting right now is fucked up. That is some fucked up degrees of... Come on. Boost this! Need boost. Oh! So fast! But must do it. Sometimes you know you're going too slow and you're taking too much time. You want the sun to stay up, so you gotta take massive risk. Boost, 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 yeah. Good bird, good bird. Give me some blue there. Oh, fuck that. I wasn't ready for that. So I used up my jump there. Hopefully I can get another one. No, not the nukes, not the nukes, not the nukes. The nukes are not cool. If I get engulfed in one, you'll see what happens. Shit. Oh, I wanted that boost. Fuck. Man, that's... My hands are clenched on the keyboard. That is awesome. I miss playing this game. But now I'm taking a whole lot of shit for granted. First off, I remember this game very well from the screen, the way it looks like, and I only played it a short amount of time in virtual reality given the lifespan those runtimes had. I mean, things were moving so fast in the days of DK2, you'd upgrade and then the thing would stop working, right? That visibility is not, like, the issue they used to have with camera distance is no longer there. I can see as far as the fucking eye can see. This is amazing. Oh look, there's birds in the sky. This I think I noticed in the DK2. Man, I am vibrating. I love this fucking thing. So where was I? I think I was at region 4. Little Method of Death. I don't remember seeing that, the Method of Death. By the way, I think the tracks or the maps, whatever you want to call these, are procedurally generated every so day or week or whatever. They're not generic. From what I understand, this game's gimmick there, what it was going for, they're not fixed maps, basically. There are assemblies that are fixed, like that little thing I just went over, I've seen it often. But aside from that, most of the levels change every now and then. Alright, good. Got my jump early. That's always a good thing to have, the jump. Always gonna save yourself out of a shitty situation as quickly as possible. Man, that VR visibility is just amazing. I can do some fucked up shit in here. Would I recommend this kind of motion to a VR beginner? Kinda, yeah. You know why? This is actually an excellent trainer. Oh shit, there's 2 birds. This is actually an excellent trainer for intense motion in virtual reality because it's really not anywhere near the most intense I've ever seen. I mean, this is fully something you can stomach, even at the beginning levels. Maybe it'll be a bit tough the first time you play it, but I think that within the first play session, you may be able to fully get the habit of this motion, like without any problems. So, highly recommended to everyone. Really, I mean, especially that it runs this well. This is a simple game. It will run on anything. I'm pretty sure if you have a pocket calculator, you can plug in your headset to it and run it there. So, really wouldn't be too worried about that. Yeah, so no, I don't think anyone's gonna have any problems with this game. And it is, like I said earlier, it's probably one of these games that is hugely augmented by VR. Like, I mean, made 3 times easier because of VR, which allows you to enjoy that sensation of speed that the game provides you without screwing up every 6 minutes. Or maybe that's actually my rate of screwing up, is probably 6 minutes. Because things happen very quickly in this game. Holy shit. These things again. Nice. Jump, nice. Nice. Well planned. I'm short on boosts though. Love one of those. Thank you. Oh, fuck! Damn it! This game is brutal. Use the jump ability. These achievements are funny, but it's to give you these little trickle levels. I know that I know this game really well, and when I restarted it for the first time, because I did do a tech run before I did this to see that everything was okay with the game in VR, and I really went far quickly. I mean, I watched the old video. Fuck, I was bad at the game on screen. I was legit bad. Now, mind you, because I played endlessly, and I mean, I played more than the average share of hours for this game. Most people, I would say, would play this for 4 or 5 hours. I think I have over 10. I'm not sure. So I played this game a lot. So eventually I did clock my record run on the screen. But I do think that if I get back to it a little bit now, and now that it does support VR, this fully implemented, there won't be any runtime shenanigan anymore. I will get back to it. This is the kind of game that I love playing on a video where I have to talk about something. So, in before this ends up in a year-end video for one of those talk segments, or maybe in my, not my year-end debrief, but maybe in the review video where I just need to speak for a moment. So, let's give it one more shot, and I'll call it a first impressions video. That's what I said in my original, by the way, in 2014 at some point. I was surprised watching that video, by the way, how Fuck, man, the videos are short. I am struggling with the English language in every way, shape, or form. I'm struggling with a fucking game. What's wrong with me? I'm not supposed to struggle with a game. That's what I'm supposed to do on this fucking channel, is play the goddamn game. I mean, come on, bro. What the fuck am I doing? I don't know, but sorry, people. I'm sorry. I'm gonna admit I was fucking terrible. Much better today. I mean, I don't know if you like my videos or not. Say what you want. At least I don't stutter and go, every 3 fucking words. I want to punch myself watching that old video, by the way. So that's, if you want to feel like punching me in the face, and you don't already, from watching this one, go ahead and watch that old video and tell me what you think after a while. You're gonna be like, okay, I want to kill this guy. I legit want to kill this guy. So that was the way out of that. There's always a little trick out of stuff. Man, I just absolutely love this game. Could go on. I mean, the only thing, like right now, I had to interrupt what I was saying to do that part. The only thing I gotta say is, no, I missed that. Come on, I've been getting it systematically correct for a long time now. I should have taken the portal. One more time. That's too short. So, yeah. I mean, you pick this thing up, you start playing it, and you don't realize that fucking hours has gone by. It seems super simple. It seems like this is the kind of thing that you'd put down after a short amount of time, but no. Oh, fuck me. I'm getting worse at this. It's really a kind of, first off, I love the fucking art style. It's cool to be in this in VR, by the way. Even though it's super simplistic, it's not demanding much from your graphics card. That doesn't mean it looks fucking great. And on top of that, I mean, there's like little elements that make you want to take risks, and at some point you'll actually be like, okay, game, okay. Game on, you wanna defy me like that, you fuckers. Challenge accepted. Yeah, hopefully I can actually eventually clock one of these record runs. And I've done some pretty good stuff with the screen version, but honestly, baffled at how virtual reality improves. I don't want to say the playability, because it's not like the screen version is unplayable or anything. It's harder. It's downright harder because your field of view is so locked to something freaking so goddamn tiny. Oh, this is gonna be tough. I mean, it's not that it's easy in VR either. I gotta tell you that. Oh no! Hey, you can constantly hear me lose trains of thought here. I think I lost 2 in the last 3 minutes. Sometimes, even in VR, your focus has to go completely on the game and you have to stop talking. Now, that's one of the factors, one of the sort of things I say to console myself for that old shitty video I did with this game. The reason why I keep... damn it, I missed the boost. The reason why I keep going, is because I'm fucking playing this game on screen. Yeah, kind of difficult. In fact, I'm surprised it's not happening now. Yeah, if you're looking for something simple to play, simple to pick up, and you won't even need your motion controllers for this. I mean, you're sitting down, you play the classic way. It makes perfect sense. I mean, it's not like something that you would wish motion controllers were implemented in any way, shape, or form. Maybe you would want the motion controllers in order to be able to play the thing like a gamepad, you know? But aside from that, I don't see the relevance of motion controls in a game like this. I mean, I've seen something like a simulator cockpit type, like a space thingy game released on Steam, VR support. You're in a spaceship of some kind. I saw that it requires motion controllers and that's their only input method. How the fuck am I gonna pilot a ship with motion controllers? I don't get that. I hope I'm not gonna be moving levers that aren't really there. That would like, I don't know, so that I didn't buy the game, by the way. I'm not interested in something that is simulating a fucking cockpit. But only supports motion. This just does not make sense to me at all. That is a baffling situation right there. What? I want to move levers? But I have no tactile feel on the levers. Make me use a fucking joystick. Or even a gamepad. For a cockpit situation, a gamepad's actually not a terrible idea. I don't know. I saw that and I was like, that's fucking odd. A space game. A spaceship game that is simulating a spaceship with fucking motion controllers. Why? I know, there's motion controllers in the kit. You don't have to remind us for absolutely no fucking reason. So yeah, a game like this, like I said, but it does support the gamepad if you like to use it. That was a ball. Fuck me. It does support the gamepad if you like to use that. So feel free to use that. I prefer to use the keyboard, go figure. In that initial video I made in 2014, I'm using gamepad. And I fucking suck at the game. This is a game that you would look at and say makes more sense to use a gamepad than a keyboard. Well, maybe not for me. Because if you look at that video back in 2014, oh shit, man, maybe my fingers got better. Maybe I would do better even with a gamepad today. But, I mean, I don't know, I'm doing awfully well with a fucking keyboard. It's almost day and night at this point. I love being able to do that. I don't want to take too much risk now as I'm trying to stretch out the regions, but at this point I'm giving up on the hopes of doing a good run. I'm not in that super, like, you can see that I make it a good couple regions, 3 regions sometimes. I did 4 earlier. Like, I get through some good action here and there, but I am not, shit, man, those are hard. I am not in the record shape right now. At least I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'll try to concentrate a bit on it. Actually, it almost helps that I start just talking about what I'm doing. There seems to be something weird about the way you sort of play this better when you're talking about something that has nothing to do with the game. I don't know why. I tend to do that with games that have these reflex things going on, like platformers and speedrunners like this. Not with first-person shooters. Don't ask me to talk to you while I'm, like, unless it's just me screaming out my reactions, really. Don't ask me to talk to you while I'm playing something like Shadow Warrior and a pack of enemies in the final fucking arena. I couldn't do that. But a game like this, it seems that the fact that I put my attention on 2 things at once, talking to you and going through the game, helps. I think it might be because it diminishes my sort of negative reactions to things that come at me in the game. Sort of keeps me calmer, and thus I take the correct decision rather than slamming right into the wall. Holy shit, that was close. I do have a jump. I should use the jump when I can. I don't, though. I try to save it for the moment where I'm most in trouble. No! Fuckers. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, the music's for real, eh? Could not make that. Oh! No, fuck, I wasn't getting out of that one. I wanted to line up that, you see that line there? I had it lined up, but I went too far left. Once you see the roll happen, there's like a quarter second before your ship starts changing directions. Only 127, so I think, no way, 355. I think my best is something like 600k. I made region 5 or 6. It's very hard to get past region 4. So I did pretty good today, even though I didn't nail any particular record. I did pretty good. Hey, there you go. You see world reset, that counter? When it reaches 0, they rebuild all the maps. Of course, the region is slightly similar, but it's just they shuffle it about. Wow. That was amazing. How long have I been playing for? 30 minutes. That is in the style of a Race the Sun first impressions video. I think only half of it is gameplay. And this is basically how you play a game like Race the Sun. Most of my playthroughs, let's go back in one last time so there's something to look at while I'm talking. But one of the things you can do with a game like this is it's a great work break game. And believe it or not, when it actually had, well, stereoscopic 3D, I had a stereoscopic 3D monitor at work. So I would play it in 3D at work. That's one of the reasons why I clocked in so much time on it. And when the DK2 support came out, I also played it during work breaks at work. I work from home now. Shit. For the same employer, which is from home, so I spend a lot more time here. Not always. Sometimes I will go to the office, so now work breaks are a little less relevant. If I take a work break, it's because I fucking worked all day for 10 hours straight, and then I just want to play a game for 2 hours straight, right? I have less of these moments where I want to play a game for just like 15 minutes, but this was a fucking perfect game for it, even in VR. So yeah, I actually played this thing at the office in VR on work breaks, and I've also played it in 3D on work breaks. Great fucking work break game. Oh fuck, I wasn't gonna make that. Anyways, the jumps I noticed, I see them often, so try to manage it that way. The soundtrack, by the way, it gets a little bit repetitive, obviously, because it's always the same damn soundtrack. But it's fucking good. At least that. I was going for a jump that I already have. You can only have one jump at a time until later on where... Oh, I missed that. Yeah, there's a power-up later on that you pick up that lets you have more than one jump at a time in your inventory. Man, there's a few passages like that. Sort of V-shaped pattern of blocks that I crashed into a few times back in the day. On screen, I would always avoid it with a jump. I would, fuck, oh god, look at me go smash into that thing. There's a sort of V pattern of blocks like that, and I always go through the one nearest the sort of middle pillar. Oh, jump storage, there you go. Now I'm gonna have 2 jumps if I equip that thing. So the V pattern, the fucking V pattern, I would always reach that thing and hit a jump. And if I had no jump, I would barely make it. Like, I think 1 out of 5 times I would make it. Now in VR, it's the other way around. 1 out of 5 times I don't clear it. There's something about VR in this game that is really seriously augmenting it. I really do think the ability to look left and right is one thing that if, say they implemented mouse motion to be able to look left and right on the screen, then you'd probably get a similar advantage, but it's just more natural to do it with VR. But yeah, this is a game that I did day and night with VR. You can fucking check my videos, you'll see. I've played it in 3D in other videos. I don't think I relisted that video. It's too old, it's too irrelevant, and it doesn't fucking work right on the YouTube player now. But it was a sort of a rant about people dissing 3D for no reason. Because back in the day, I was very enthusiastic about stereoscopic 3D. And made a rant about the negative feedback on it. People have said it was a gimmick, that in many cases 3D can be made into not a gimmick at all, right? So I played this game the whole time in that video. And if you watch that video, you'll see my gameplay was relatively fucking terrible. And now my par, like, that was par, right? When I played the game doing that video, that was par. On a good night, I could hit 600k. Now, on a par run, I hit about 300k, whereas back then I would hit about 40k, or maybe up to 100k. So, yeah, VR has done a huge difference to the experience in this game. Race the Sun, folks. I recommend everybody get a copy of this game. What's this new? Oh, these are all my new Oh, there's also... Here's the thing, there's also workshops on Steam, workshop maps. So you can try maps made by other people. And I remember this one. That one was one of the first ones that came out. Let's just give it a quick shot. I remember it being quite difficult, actually, but give it a shot. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, this is cool. I like the color scheme too. Very different from your usual Raise the sun style. Wow. Oh, that's a tree. That's a nice way to close this one. Ooh. Hello. Oh, damn it. Oh, fuck you. Skewed, a skewed jump. I like this one. Ah! No! There's a little pass right there. I couldn't, I thought I had to go around until the last second I saw that. Fuck off. Ah, boy. Let's try to explore this one. Let's get a bit of diagonal going on here. Whew. Challenging already. Challenging me. No shadows. Hey, hey, hey. Shadows. Fuck off. Way too much shadows. Remember, the shadows cause your ship to start losing energy. And then you'll see the sun starting to go down. Can I do this? Oh, nice. There we go. Alright, so when you see the mountain, look for the opening. When you see the mountain, look for the... Hey, here it comes, here it comes. I know it's coming, I know it's coming. It's the calm before the storm. That little gap. Nice. Wow. I had never seen the second section to this. Whoa. Oh, shit. Shit gets real from here. Oh, that's so cheap. Those little crystals, you're not sure if it's a doorway or a crystal. Alright, that's it, folks. Now for real this time. Thanks for watching Stereo 3D Productions. This has been Race the Sun. Highly recommend to everybody who owns a headset. Either just a headset, either OSVR, Oculus, VIVE. Doesn't matter, you can use SteamVR with it. And run it. It supports everything. And given the simplicity of the graphical nature of this game, the fact that it runs on Unity 4.7, I'm pretty sure it can run on a pocket calculator with a CV1 attached to it. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.